we're gonna talk about the difference of the vintage and the latest. Okay, so of course a while ago I said about the strap. Okay, so now it's detachable. Okay, now since mine is vintage, um it's, you cannot remove the hardware or the strap. Okay, you cannot change it, you cannot interchange it or change it to a longer strap. Whereas now, the latest saddle bag of Christian Dior, there's a guitar strap, which is the wide strap that you can do crossbody, and so that it's hands free and you don't have to carry it on your armpit and shoulder, because some millennials or some um ladies out there don't want to wear it on their shoulder or in their armpit. Okay, so some wear it mostly on the crossbody, depends on the fashion style. Also, the vintage is this one, they used the adhesive for the fabric, whereas now it's magnetic clasp, so every time you just close it, it just automatic close. All right, so that's the difference. Aside from, also the design is the same, but the sizes, they added some sizes, changed some sizes. Okay, so now there's a bigger size for the latest one. It's much more bigger than this. There's much, and then there's micro, there's mini size. So before, it's just this. Okay, so this is just the size of it, and mine is kind of like around 10 inches or almost 10 inches at the very wide here. All right, so same, it's kind of almost the same as the latest now, but a little bit, I would say a little bit bulkier for me, in like in the side for me when I look at it. But otherwise, it's kind of like the same. All right, unless if you want mini or micro. Okay, and they don't have the large or whatever. They have this small size, and or medium, I think so. But it really depends on how you see it, because some people, when they look at the bag, they will say, oh, that's medium, no, that's small. Okay, but and then after that, it's already mini and micro. So yeah, and but this is the size of it. Okay, and if you go to the website or any vlogs that you see, sometimes they will just indicate the classic size, the classic, which is this. Okay, so just for you not to get confused. So here are the measurement, guys. As you see, there's a micro, there's a mini, and there's a classic. So that was I'm telling you. Okay, so as you see, the measurement and the differences of the measurement, it's kind of quite bigger. It's kind of quite, because from the length, the widest will be 9.5, which is the classic one, which is same as mine. The second is the mini, is 7.25, and the micro is around 5.25. Yeah, so that's kind of a big differences. So again, it really depends on your taste and what kind of fashion style that you're trying to do. Also, I noticed also for the latest Christian Dior, their hardware, it's much more thicker looking, or a little bit shorter looking. I don't know if it's just my eyes or what, but if I compare it to the vintage is much more longer and slimmer looking compared to the latest one. Another difference of the D for the vintage versus the latest saddlebag is the vintage, the tip here is pointed. Okay, pointed. Whereas the latest is like a little bit chubby and rounder. Yeah. And also the vintage has engraved CD like here. Okay. And then the latest don't. Also the hardware varies. Okay. The hardware, there's a gold and silver tone. Okay, so don't get confused whether like you see some, but mostly what you see is gold tone, especially the latest one now. But I think it's more on because that's much more popular with the millennials or influencers. That's what I only observe with the difference of the vintage versus the latest Christian Dior saddlebag. Also, guys, they have a lot of colors. Okay, and even in vintage, they have this one saddle that is kind of like a looking, it looks like a mini, and there's no hardware, there's no D hanging, it's just simple, there's no CD on the side, it's just very simple, and it's just like a pouch. So guys, if you know vintage, you will really can indicate immediately just looking at the bag if it's vintage or not, and if it's the latest style of saddlebag. But like this one, there's also vintage of this, of the pouch one, and also now the latest one has also their own version of pouch. And also, guys, it's not just the bag and the pouch, there's also saddle wallets. So if you're interested with wallets, you're crazy with wallets, if you want to pair it with your bag, of course, wallet saddle is also available, both vintage and the latest one. But again, there's some minor differences of the design of the wallet, just like the bag.